Instagram's not dead. And truthfully, I don't think it ever will be because it's like that toxic ex that we keep going back to. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever had a toxic ex, but you get the point. It's the online version of a storefront, of your business card, of your resume, of your scrapbook, yearbook, all in one. And you're probably like me and still love it and use it. So grab a seat and a drink because I'm going to be sharing the 3 things that I'm actually doing to keep the algorithm on my side, because let's be honest, a lot has changed. However, tip number 3 will show us that even though things drastically change, some things just are always gonna work. And a big shout out to $1.80 for sponsoring this video. I'll tell you a lot more about them later on. Number 1, I'm using a lot more carousel images. And there's a reason why. I mean carousel images, but carousels with videos also. So I'll put in different images, whether it's 2 to 3, maybe sometimes even up to 10. There's no limit, but I do want to make sure that I put a video in it. Oftentimes I'll put it without a sound because this does bring the views and the time spent on your post up. I don't know if you guys know this, but for carousel images, it's actually really cool because even if a person doesn't interact with your post, Instagram will show them a different image of the carousel every time they open up the app. So it's basically like if you're posting 10 images, you have 10 posts in one, and it's being shown again and again and again until they finally engage with it. The style of content that I'm posting on carousels, it's spontaneous, it's natural, it's things that aren't high effort, which means it can be easily done. And it's also what people like to see on Instagram. But don't think that this tip just came from out of nowhere. There's a science as to the why I'm doing it. First of all, of course, because I've seen the engagement on my own carousel post. Not only that, my trusted social media expert friend, Gary Vee, also said this. If you scroll down right here on his newsletter that he does through LinkedIn, there's one segment here at the bottom which I found super duper interesting, because keep in mind, these are people that eat, live, and breathe social media. So all the way down, this tip actually came straight from his Instagram squad. They say it right here. They're testing tons of content, yet the best performing on Instagram were carousel posts, specifically carousel posts that included a meme or graphic as a first image tile and a video as the next tile or tiles. So yes, we love the info, Gary Vee's team, but that doesn't mean that if your account isn't a meme style, you don't need to be implementing memes. It just means think of the emotion behind the meme. So normally for my carousels, I like doing like spontaneous pictures, whether it's somewhere that I'm traveling that really like sparked an emotion, something funny that I'm seeing, things like that. Now you might be thinking, but hold on, wasn't Reels the best performing? And yes, it doesn't mean that Reels aren't working, but for me, what I found is that with Reels, it's like all or nothing. Tip number 2 that I'm implementing is to do story-led Reels. That means things that only I can share. Everyone can put highlight clips on a trending song. Everyone can do it and they're gonna look great, but only I have the ability to share, hey, what was my day like while I'm living and traveling in Croatia? No one, even if they are traveling full-time just like me, will have the same exact story as me. And I know that sometimes those take time because I make my own, like I know the time it goes into it. So when there's no time, the little snippets of something cute, funny, or emotional will get the job done. That's what I've seen working for me and what I'll continue to be doing. And now, drum roll, moving on to habit number 3. This, I would say, is probably the tip that is the most important out of the full strategy, because it's a strategy that has been around for years. I knew about this for years. Like, this isn't something new. I actually implemented this strategy when I was working with clients managing their social media, but it got kind of like off my radar. But the fact is that it still works even after more than 5 years, which proves that it's going to continue to work even through all the algorithm changes, because it's already done so. And that's why I'm going to incorporate it now more than ever. It's called the $1.80 strategy, and yes, it also comes from my trusted friend Gary Vee. And it makes sense. Social media is social. One of the main reasons why I kept using Instagram and I want to keep using Instagram is because it literally keeps me connected with everyone, even and especially while traveling, like the people that I've been meeting. And then when we bump into each other in different countries, that's all thanks to Instagram. You can talk about all the other platforms, but honestly, there's no platform that keeps you as connected and as in touch as Instagram. Even the head of Instagram said like their biggest thing is DMs and what goes on in the DMs, all that connection, all those friendships, all those relationships that are built. So the whole point behind the strategy is to be social, to establish and build those connections and those relationships between other accounts in your similar industry. It's not like we're becoming friends with everyone on Instagram. No. That's not what this means. That means find the common people that you want to build an audience with, that you want to surround yourself with on your online space called Instagram. So the strategy is that you do this by leaving your 2 cents on people's posts. And if you do this along 9 posts in 10 relevant hashtags, which I'm going to tell you exactly how to find, well, sum it up and you get $1.80. Here's how you're going to set up your hashtags. This is basically going to be your homepage, and I'll explain all this cool information in just a second, but for right now, you're going under your hashtags. So you'll find that right here on the left-hand side, and as you can see, I've already selected 10 of the hashtags that relate to my industry and to the style of people that I'm looking forward to connecting with. As I mentioned, I'm traveling full-time, and I've loved meeting people and like refinding them throughout the different countries that I visit. So you set up 10 at a time. I have my 10 set up here, and basically they populate the post onto this page. The goal daily is for you to leave comments on 90 posts. So right here, you can see that you have your tracker each day, so it's super easy to manage. So for today, I haven't done it, so I have 0 out of 90 comments. And as we start to comment, it's going to start adding up. So I'm clicking on this one, for example, and this is a post that I like. It's something that I would normally interact with. So what I'm going to do is basically get an idea of what she's saying, and then I'm going to leave a comment. These right here are examples of the past comments that I've left. So as you can see, it's not just like something basic. Normally, I talk about the recommendations, or I ask, hey, I'm planning to go there, or I want to go there. What would you recommend for me to try there? Like, you start a conversation and it's genuine building of relationships. So for this one, for example, I'm going to comment on the whole fall vibe, which I love. Haven't been to Minnesota, but I'd love to check it out. Oh, I have a little typo, so let's fix this. And now you're gonna go ahead and click on the ready button, and with the $1.80 extension, it basically opens up your Instagram. Already populates the comment, you can like the post as well, and it's super easy. All you have to do now is click the post button, and voila, you're done. You close it, and then you move on to the next one, and the progress obviously starts adding up. Now, one of the things for me that actually motivates me and proves to me that this really works is this right here. You go over to their leaderboards, which everyone has access to, and I love that it's also kind of like a gamification of the whole thing. But if you go right here on this second column, you see the most growth. And yes, this shows you in the past 24 hours, the person with the most growth has had 14 new followers, but it's actually a 9% growth from this person's following. That means that this person has a smaller account and they grew 14, which is a 9% difference for their size of account. Other people, for example, have gained 49 followers and so on. But if you go to the all-time column, this is what was most surprising for me. 4,466 new followers. Can't say Instagram growth is dead when it's literally proof is in the pudding. And I know you probably also have questions on what that whole graph meant at the beginning, so let's go back there. This graph that you're seeing right here is the actual prediction of my growth using $1.80. So if I continue this strategy like I've been doing, which I'm going to mention in just a little bit what I'm going to do, then this is the potential growth that it sees for my personal account. So it actually tracks like the current, the potential, and the past 7 days that I've been using it with. But don't just look at my graph, you can look at your own graph, because I got you a little coupon code where you can try it completely free for a whole month using code Laura Gomez 2023. And here's what I think we should do. I'm going to be implementing these 3 tips into a strategy, and a month from the day this video is posted, I'm going to come down in the comments and I'm going to tell you my exact growth rate and how my profile has changed. I also have to mention that the coolest part about this has literally been the people that I've been meeting. I've been commenting, I've been making connections, everybody responds back. Like, I've gotten recommendations for places that I'm going to travel to. Italy might be around the corner, just saying. And it's been exactly what I want my social media to be used for. So that's just like a plus besides the growth. But still, a month from today, I'm gonna have that comment posted there, but I wanna see what your stats have been too. And there's no excuses, because you're literally trying this with me for a whole month for free using code Laura Gomez 2023. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and we're literally in this strategy together. So I want to see you down in the comments, and like always, I'll see you right back on this same exact channel next week.